An Arkansas judge has ordered Democrat presidential candidate Joe Biden's son Hunter Biden to provide a reason why he should not be held in contempt right after Hunter Biden just missed the due date for financial papers in his custody case. There's been some very strange details in this story already. Back in December, the judge in Arkansas ordered Hunter Biden to provide financial files. Then earlier this month, that same judge, without explanation, abruptly stepped down, recusing himself from the case. It looks like Biden is still trying to hide evidence, and now the new judge is asking Biden to provide a reason why he should not be held in contempt after just missing this due date for financial papers. Biden has failed to provide his financial information as required, according to court documents submitted Tuesday. Hunter Biden, whose father is running for the Democrat presidential bid, was told by Independence County Circuit Court Judge Holly Myers in the beginning of the month that he must submit his past due discovery, including financial disclosures, by January 16, 2020. London Roberts is the name of the woman suing Hunter Biden for support payments, and a court-ordered DNA test has already proven Biden is the father. On Tuesday, Roberts' attorney notified the judge that Biden had failed to provide any additional discovery information of any nature, court documents show. He further asked the jurist to hold him in contempt of the court. Myers subsequently ordered Hunter Biden that he shall appear at the couple's January 29th hearing and show a cause, if any exists, as to why he should not be held in contempt for any of the alleged violations of this court's order. Hunter Biden's attorney refuses to give any comment. Roberts has been seeking the discovery documents through her attorneys since August of 2019. Tuesday's court filing by Roberts' attorney details how Hunter Biden has allegedly neglected to provide the court with the following: his residence address and previous address from the past 5 years, his phone number, his wife's address, his wife's phone number, the banks used by him and his businesses, whether he receives mail or packages at an address in West Hollywood, California, a list of all companies he currently owns or in which he has ownership interest and the state in which those companies are incorporated, a list of all companies in which he has had an ownership interest in the past 5 years, as well as the state in which those companies are incorporated, his unredacted personal tax returns for the past 5 years, including but not limited to those from 2017 and 2018, all sources of income from the past 5 years, any and all financial documents and information showing money or monies he received in the past 5 years, also all employers from the past 5 years, tax records for companies he owns or those in which he has ownership interest, copies of property deeds for those he owns or in which he has ownership interest, and finally an executed copy of the requested financial records release. Fox article talking about this court update adds, while running for president, Joe Biden is also fighting back against negative stories about his son in the press. Most recently, his campaign released a memo urging reporters and editors to not spread false information, NBC News reported, including a copy of the memo online. Hunter Biden's financial records are expected to include those related to his involvement in Ukrainian company Burisma Holdings, which is connected to President Trump's impeachment. Biden was named a paid board member of Burisma in April of 2014. The company's founder was a political ally of Viktor Yanukovych, who was driven out in February of 2014. This transition prompted the Obama administration to move quickly to deepen ties with Ukraine's new government. Joe Biden, the vice president at the time, traveled to Ukraine and spoke frequently with its new president, Poroshenko. Roberts' lawyers claimed that Biden's conduct is willful and contemptuous, then adding, quote, this court should take some action that will make the defendant follow court orders and a believer in the rule of law. Biden's appearance in court is the showdown that Roberts and her legal team have been wanting. New court document here, January 21st, 2020, order to appear and show cause. Based on the pleadings and the record, the court finds that the defendant, Robert Hunter Biden, shall appear before this court on January 29th, 2020 at 9:30 a.m. and show cause, if any exists, as to why he should not be held in contempt for any of the alleged violations of this court's orders. A previous hearing where Biden was expected to show up to was postponed, and lawyers conferred over the telephone. Earlier this month, Roberts hit back against Biden, who accused her of including his LA address in court filings just to add fuel to the Where's Hunter campaign. President Trump has called for Biden to come forward to testify during his impeachment trial, and his campaign started selling t-shirts with the slogan, "Where's Hunter?" as he brought up the matter again at his rally on Thursday night. Meanwhile, top Democrats like Jerry Nadler are desperately doing everything they can to stop Hunter Biden from being forced to come forward and testify. It's a photo of Nadler alongside Nancy Pelosi with a quote that reads, "They're asking for Hunter Biden is just more of a smear of Hunter Biden that the president is trying to get the Ukraine to do," Nadler added. There's also a series of reports that came out late yesterday with other corruption scandals going on in the Biden family. Another headline here just from last night that says Joe Biden's brother Frank linked to projects receiving $54 million in taxpayer loans from the Obama administration despite no experience. Frank Biden, the youngest brother of former Vice President Joe Biden, saw his business interests benefit from millions of dollars in taxpayer loans to Caribbean nations during the Obama years. Shortly after the Obama administration took office, Frank Biden began scouting real estate opportunities in Costa Rica. A lawyer by training, Frank was undeterred by his lack of background in international development and decades-old legal troubles at home. Despite the professional and personal handicaps, business opportunities were plentiful for Frank, especially after his brother paid a visit to the country. Just months after Vice President Joe Biden's visit in August, Costa Rica News announced a new multilateral partnership to reform real estate in Latin America between Frank Biden, a developer named Craig Williamson, and a newly planned resort. The venture, officially sold to investors and the public as an opportunity to protect Costa Rica's breathtaking beauty, actually amounted to little more than decimating the country's natural wilderness to build a luxurious resort for wealthy foreigners. Frank, perhaps sensing a chance to make even more money, entered into a partnership with the Costa Rican National Power and Light Company to build a solar power complex in the country's northwest region. The new facility would provide enough electricity to Frank's resort, which was to be built in the vicinity. The partnership with CNFL was secured even though Frank and his company, Sunfund Americas, had no experience in the energy sector. Quote, Frank did not have any background in solar energy, but it was quite clear who he was when he pitched the project to investors. His brother Joe's name figured prominently in his biography. In October of 2016, the Costa Rican government signed a letter of intent with Sunfund Americas to build a solar power facility in the country. The project, which involved a company called Go Solar, specifically earmarked more than $6.5 million in taxpayer-backed loans that had been approved in 2015 by the Obama administration's Overseas Private Investment Corporation. Having found Costa Rica fertile ground, Frank next turned his attention to other parts of the Caribbean like Jamaica. Once again, Frank's business pivot coincided with a new development in his brother's political career. The Obama administration had announced in June 2014 it was launching the Caribbean Energy Security Initiative under the direction of Joe Biden. Officially, the program was meant to support energy sustainability projects in the region, with American tax dollars helping put together deals for local projects. One of those projects was the building of a 20 megawatt solar power plant in Jamaica, for which Obama's Overseas Private Investment Corporation approved a $47.5 million loan. Around the same time that project was announced, Sun Fund Americas confirmed they signed a power purchase agreement to build a 20 megawatt solar facility in Jamaica. In total, between 2009 and the end of the Obama administration, Frank Biden's Caribbean projects benefited from more than $54 million in U.S. taxpayer loans. So a lot going on with the Biden family right now, and Hunter Biden being ordered to show up in court next week by this judge who will demand that he provide a reason why he shouldn't be held in contempt for failing to provide these financial papers. Tons of media reports still coming out on Hunter Biden's other questionable dealings, not just in the Ukraine, but other countries also. Democrats clearly very nervous about Hunter Biden. Please let me know what you think in a comment. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that's greatly appreciated, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. In the video description are links to my Patreon and PayPal accounts where you can support the channel directly. I will follow up soon. Thanks again.